Hello and welcome to Awesome Reviews. Today I have for you the top 10 horror movies to watch in the dark. So these are horror movies that you want to watch at night, preferably after midnight, alone in the dark with a pot of popcorn and just yourself. You don't want anyone else to be in the room. Just you, the horror movie, in the darkness of the night. So these movies are in no order, they're just randomly, but these 10 movies are my favorites to watch alone in the dark. When you're watching them alone, they can get a little bit scary, so they're much more enjoyable. You get into the movie and you really feel the scares. Here are the top 10 movies that you should watch in the dark. So number 10, The Others. It's nearing the end of Second World War, and Grace Stewart lives with her photosensitive children in a large and silent house. After her previous servants went missing, Grace accepted the offer of work from 3 new servants. Since these 3 have entered the home, strange events occur, and Grace begins to wonder if it's her sanity getting the better of her, or if there's something much more in the house with them. Number 9, the 1974 Black Christmas. Black Christmas, Black Christmas, Black Christmas. I have seen the remake. I think it came out in 2009 or somewhere around that year. I did like the remake, but of course you can never go wrong with the original. It's time for Christmas break, and the sorority sisters make plans for the holiday. But the strange anonymous phone calls are beginning to put them on edge. When Claire disappears, they contact the police, who don't express much concern. The police finally begin to get concerned when a 13-year-old girl is found dead in the park. They set up a wiretap to the sorority house, but will they be in time to prevent a sorority girl attrition problem? Number 8. Lake Mungo. 16-year-old Alice Palmer drowns while swimming in the local dam. When her body is recovered and a verdict of accidental death is returned, her grieving family buries her. The family then experiences a series of strange and inexplicable events centered in and around their home. Profoundly unsettled, the Palmers seek the help of psychic and parapsychologist Ray Kaname. Ray discovers that Alice led a secret double life. A series of clues lead the family to Lake Mungo, where Alice's secret past emerges. Number 7. The Strangers. This is actually one of my all-time favorite movies. But mostly because it's based on a true story, so it's kind of creepy to know that actually happened. Maybe not in the extent that it happened in the Hollywood version of the story, but people did die by serial killers that came to their house and murdered them. So things like that do happen, and that's why I really like this movie, because it's so realistic to know that when I'm watching this movie, someone can come, knock on the door, it could be a stranger. So definitely do not open the door when you're watching this movie after midnight. Don't open the door. Just don't. After returning from a wedding reception, a couple staying in an isolated vacation house receive a knock on the door in the mid-hours of the night. What ensues is a violent invasion by 3 strangers, their faces hidden behind masks. The couple find themselves in a violent struggle in which they go beyond what either of them thought capable in order to survive. We tell ourselves there's nothing to fear, but sometimes we're wrong. Number 5. Carnival of Souls. This is an old classic movie. It came out in 1962, and it's just one of my favorite old classic movies that I've seen. I'm really into classic horror, and this is one of my favorites, so it's actually a pretty good one, so check it out. Mary Henry is enjoying the day by riding around in a car with two friends. When challenged to a drag, the women accept but are forced off a bridge. It appears that they are all drowned until Mary, quite some time later, amazingly emerges from the river. After recovering, Mary sets a job in a new town as a church organist, only to be dogged by a mysterious phantom figure that seems to reside in an old, run-down pavilion. It is here that Mary must confront the personal demons of her spiritual insouciance. Number 4. This movie is actually got highly recommended to me in my previous top 10 horror movies to watch. So I had to put them in here because you guys seem to really like them, and I actually did watch them and I did enjoy them. There were certain parts that really were kind of scary, so definitely watch these alone at night in the dark. These are actually two movies. It's VHS number 1 and VHS number 2. Number 1 came out in 2012 and number 2 came out in 2013. POV found footage horror film from the perspective of America's top genre filmmakers. A group of misfits are hired by an unknown third party to rob a desolate house in the countryside and acquire a rare tape. Upon searching the house, the guys are confronted with a dead body, a hub of old televisions, and an endless supply of cryptic footage, each video stranger than the last. Number 3. This one is another oldie. Can you tell that I like old horror movies? They're just so raw and classic, and horror is so different than the horror today, so they're quite enjoyable. Anyway, so the movie is Freaks. It came out in 1932, so... A circus trapeze artist, Cleopatra, takes an interest in Hans, a midget who works in the circus sideshow. Her interest, however, isn't the money Hans will be inheriting, and she is actually carrying on an affair with another circus performer. Hans' fiancée does her best to convince him that he is being used, but to no avail. At their wedding party, a drunken Cleopatra tells the sideshow freaks just what she thinks of them. Together, the freaks decide to make her one of their own. Number 2. Dead of Night. It came out in 1945, and it's a pretty great movie to watch after midnight with nobody else in the house. Just you in the movie. Just you in the movie. Architect Walter Craig, seeking the possibility of some work at a country farmhouse, soon finds himself once again stuck in his recurrent nightmare. Dreading the end of the dream that he knows is coming, he must first listen to all the assembled guests' own bizarre tales. And number 1. This is a classic, an oldie. It's a movie that everyone should watch, regardless whether you are a horror movie fanatic or just a movie fanatic or just anyone, because it's a movie that everyone should watch regardless of anything. The House on Haunted Hill, 1959 version. I think they have done like a few remakes of this movie because it's just a classic movie. It's the epitome of ghost supernatural horror movies, so a great movie to watch at night. Eccentric millionaire Frederick Lauren and his fourth wife, Annabelle, have invited 5 people to the house on Haunted Hill for a haunted house party. Whoever will stay in the house for one night will earn $10,000 each. As the night progresses, all the guests are trapped inside the house with ghosts, murderers, and other terrors. So that is the list of the top 10 horror movies that you should watch in the dark alone after midnight with popcorn, because you will definitely enjoy the movie, get into the spirit of horror, and be terrorized by all these movies. Some of them more than others, but regardless of that, they're all great movies to watch. So go get some popcorn and pop these movies in the DVD player or computer or whatever you are using to watch movies in. So hope you enjoy them, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos like this, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!